What is up, guys? It is the Gaming News Stuff here, and today we are back with some more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Today, we're going to be talking about the newest update and all the new, awesome, exciting, brilliant things coming in the game. So, I'm just going to read off a list of what we're going to be talking about today, and hopefully, you enjoy. First off, we have R2-D2, that is right. So, I'm going to jump straight into R2-D2. You know what? Screw the list. Let's have a look at this awesome looking character. So, you need 145 shards to unlock him. He's a light side character, droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel Resistance, and Support. So he can go on heaps of teams. That is awesome. Let's have a look at his abilities, because we all know we want to see what that involves. So, first off, we have his basic Electroshock Prod. As always, we'll be looking at the level 8 abilities, the final stage of the abilities. First off, deal physical damage to target enemy with an 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. This attack deals 30% more damage to burning targets. Now, if you have not yet looked, you may see burning targets and be confused. We will look at that in a little bit. But an 80% chance to stun is always awesome on a basic. That is like possibly better than Royal Guard. I don't know what Royal Guard's basic for stun is, but 80% chance of a stun is fantastic. So that is an awesome basic attack. Next up, we have Smoke Screen, which is his first special with a cooldown of 4 at max. Target ally gains Foresight and advantage for 2 turns, and all other allies gain Stealth for 2 turns. R2-D2 gains 40% turn meter. So, you can pick an ally to gain Foresight and advantage, which means they cannot be hit on the next time they are targeted, and advantage means they are guaranteed a crit on their next attack. And every other ally gains Stealth. That is awesome. That's like basically more Zeta from a special. That is fantastic. I feel like R2 already is going to bring the light side back into play, because as we all know at the moment, there's a few good light side characters, but dark side is kind of on top. Next up, we have his second special, which is called Improvise, with a cooldown of 4. Deal special damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 3 turns. This attack can't be evaded. So, what we actually don't know by reading this is what burning is. We will have a look and see if we can find that out afterwards, but I'm just reading through the abilities. While R2-D2, combat analysis, unique number 1. While R2-D2 is active, all allies gain 10% critical chance and 10% accuracy. While R2-D2 is active, whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, dispel all debuffs on them. I have a feeling this may be a Zeta. It looks complex enough to be a Zeta, but I could be wrong. Next up, we have Number Crunch, the final unique. This is a long one, so strap in. At the start of the battle, R2-D2 gains 10% max protection for each droid ally. So if you're running him on a droid team, he gets more protection. 10% offense for each Galactic Republic ally. So this includes clones, clones, Jedi, all of that. Or 10% max health for each Rebel ally. Again, he runs on Rebel teams. Or 10% potency for each Resistance ally. So you can run him on 4 different types of teams. That is fantastic. He fits well on almost every team you could think of. At the start of the battle, and when R2-D2 revives, other droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel, and Resistance allies gain 10% of R2-D2's max protection, offense, max health, and potency until R2-D2 is defeated. Now, if the last ability wasn't Zeta, this final one is definitely Zeta. This seems ridiculous. Ridiculously strong. So I have a feeling this ability is Zeta. But that is R2-D2, guys. He seems fantastic. Now, you may be saying, where can I get this fantastic looking light side character? And it's going to be in the new Daring Droid Legendary event. So let me have a look. It says, according to the forums, the versatile support droid, R2-D2, has been seen on the Death Star. Gather your best Empire forces and defeat the famous crew of the Millennium Falcon to capture R2 in the Daring Droid and very rare multi-tiered event. can you foil the rebel plans and capture this legendary astromech? So as you can see here, guys, this is the event. Daring Droid legendary event with the rewards of R2-D2. Now, since he is a 145 shard requirement character to even unlock, I believe this is the new Emperor Palpatine / Yoda event. So it'll be appearing for however long they decide to keep it around, and then it'll disappear for a long time. So make sure you have your Empire characters, guys. You have 8 days to get your Empire characters ready. So if I jump into my Empire characters right now, it will probably be you need 5 7-star characters to get him to 7-star. So my Rebel characters, Empire, sorry. I have a 7-star Darth Vader, 7-star Palpatine, 7-star Royal Guard, 7-star TIE Fighter Pilot, and a 7-star Grand Moff Tarkin. So I should be able to hopefully get him if the event isn't too difficult. But if not, guys, make sure you farm up those Empire characters. So next up on the list, now that we have gone through all of that, is the new daily login character, who is going to be General Veers. Now you may be sitting there thinking, General Veers, what are you talking about? He is not a new character, but guys, he is, because they have reworked him. And I'm going to tell you what they've added. So, I know I'm looking over to the side at the moment. I might move this screen here. There we go. Basic, what they've changed on is basic. Now also has a chance to grant speed up to a random Imperial Trooper ally who doesn't have it. Upgrade 7 now grants plus 10% damage instead of 5% damage. And the Omega now has 15% damage and plus 30% speed up chance. So this is on his basic. I will also click here so you can see what I'm looking at. And I'll just read the ability off, to be honest, probably easier. Deal special damage to all enemies with a 55% chance. Let me get this back up. Apologize. 55% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn. Dealing 10% more damage for each living rebel enemy. Call all other Imperial allies to assist, dealing 40% less damage. So this is a big one, like the 212th commandment, I believe it is, or whatever it's called, from Cody, in which he calls all clone allies to assist. This is the same thing, dealing 40% less damage. Next up, we have Imperial Assault Commander. Empire allies gain 30% offense. Imperial Trooper allies gain 20 speed and 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff. And finally, we have the unique. Whenever an enemy is defeated while Veers is active, so alive, Imperial Trooper allies gain offense up for 2 turns, 50% turn meter, and recover 10% protection. So that is when an enemy is defeated. Now, you guys may be sitting there thinking, what is the difference between Imperial Trooper and Empire? So let's have a look at the Imperial Trooper. According to this, General Veers is the only Imperial Trooper. So that's the difference. At the moment, this ability gives him no, with all the ones that affect Imperial Troopers, affects no one but himself. So that is pretty weird, actually. I assume that means they are aiming to add a bunch new Imperial Trooper units. Or there's Empire units that are meant to be in there and aren't yet in there. So next up, we have the Separatist. Now there is one unit that has had a change, which is Nute Gunray. His leader ability has been adjusted. Turn meter on critical hit has now been increased to 30, 40, and 50%, up from 20, 25, and 30%, but can now only trigger once per turn. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, stealthed allies gain 55% critical chance and gain 50% turn meter the first time they score a critical hit each turn. So when you think about it, this would actually work really well on a Zol leadership. The problem is, it's also a leader ability, so it's not going to work. But it would actually work quite well with R2-D2, because he can give everyone stealth. This is just me taking guesses here, guys. There is also the new character faction, which is Galactic Republic. I mentioned this a little bit earlier for R2-D2. which includes the Jedi and the clones, as well as a few other characters like the Coruscant Underworld Police and Clone Wars Chewbacca. All the characters that were in the Galactic Republic in the movies and games and whatever else. There's also apparently some new packs and bundles in the store, which I have not yet looked at. Let's see if we can find them. No, there is not yet. They will be coming out soon, actually, with the new Elite Combat 3 event. Okay. Next up, I know there's a lot to talk about, guys. I've got to run through it all. I'm a bit late on this video because I was not home all day. But really exciting. Now that Krennic and Death Trooper have been farmable, and they've been farmable for a little while, there is some new farmable characters, guys. Darth Nihilus, Sith Assassin, and Sith Trooper. As per what they've been doing lately is putting them into the Shard Shop, but I will show you where you can farm each of these characters. First off, we have the Sith Trooper is farmable in 8B Cantina battles, so not too difficult, pretty easy to access. I've beat that 3 stars luckily, so I can now farm him. And also the Sith Assassin in 8C Cantina battles, which I have also 3-starred. And as you can see, I've already started farming the Sith Assassin. So both of these characters will be relatively easy to farm. So I'm going to give up on the Death Trooper now because I would much rather have the Sith Assassin for my Zol team. And then we have the one that you're probably really wondering about, Darth Nihilus. Now, he is in not too bad of a spot. As you know, all of the newer characters that have been added, the good ones like Baze and Shore Trooper, were added in light side hard battles in 9. Now, I don't have a very good light side team, so I can never beat these. But they have done us all a favour and added Nihilus in dark side 9A hard. So, I've already beaten this, and I will now be farming the absolute bejesus out of Nihilus, every single day until I can get him. So that is awesome. There is also a few changes to the Assault Battle Forest Moon event, which I'm not going to go over because I don't think it's that important. But again, you need your Rebel Empire characters for that. So if you've got them for the R2-D2 event, you should have them for that as well. And finally, we have the Elite Combat 3 event, which I'm going to read off the forums because I don't think it's been added to the game yet. With the previous tiers successfully completed, now is the time to utilize all of Gauntlet Starfighter's abilities to effectively defeat the rebels in this final event. Gather your best fleet. For more information, please be sure to review April 11th's game updates notes found here. So, it's talking about Gauntlet Starfighter abilities. I don't know who the Gauntlet Starfighters are, unless they are the ones from the Rebels game, from the Rebels. I don't see them. There's Gauntlet Starfighter, okay. And he, I believe, is coming with a new pack, and I assume in the new event. And that is using Gar Saxon and the Imperial Super Commando. Anyway, guys, I know this has been a pretty freaking long video. I'm super duper keen for R2-D2 though, guys. If you are, let me know. Do you think he's going to be a game changer? I think he is going to bring Galactic Republic, maybe even droid teams up into the meta like crazy, and maybe drop off the dark side teams like Zol and all of that. Also, are you keen to now be able to farm Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper, as well as kind of farm Darth Nihilus with a max of 3 shards a day, unless you're willing to spend your crystals? Anyway, guys, I know this, like I said, there's been a relatively long video, but I do hope you enjoyed. I tried to cover everything as quick as I could without skipping anything too important. But other than that, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Comment down below your opinions on everything mentioned in this video, guys, and peace out.